Good morning. Today is the 27th of August, 2021. Good morning. Welcome to America. Still doing the COVID thing with the Delta variant. And I think numbers have leveled off for the most part. And I think it's just a matter of pushing those who have not gotten that vaccine and just trying to convince them that, hey, it's been FDA approved now. There's very few side effects, if any, for most people. So if you're perfectly healthy and just didn't feel like, getting the shot because it wasn't fully FDA approved, well, now it is. Just one. It's the Pfizer vaccine. So just, go to your closest Walgreens or whatever other pharmacy has those. They're totally free. Even if you don't have any insurance at all, it's still totally free. So if you're concerned at all about getting the vaccine, or if you're concerned about spreading it to others, then I do think it would be a good thing to do. It's just a shot. It's not. There's no conspiracy. In fact, what they're trying to do is fix the problem that was likely a secret bioweapons type of project that was being done. But as we all know, when you mess with viruses, viruses don't obey well, and so they. Nature finds a way to survive, and the way it survives is by changing and adapting to its situation and going everywhere it can. And so the tiny little viruses, they get inside of our respiratory system and they travel with us. And they are kind of like spores. They travel through the air, invisible to anyone and everyone and everywhere. And they adapt and they change. That's what these variants are. So anyway, if you haven't already gotten one of those, I would encourage it. So anyway, other news today is, of course, the Afghanistan thing. I actually am glad that President Biden finally decided I'm the commander-in-chief and we're getting the heck out. I appreciate that. Obviously, what's concerning is the method by which that is done, and doing it in such a way that limits and prevents casualties. So it feels like it was a bit abrupt and too public. So, Taliban kind of found out about it and started sweeping through the whole country. So it should have been a lot more secretive and quiet, I think. But that's the liability of an old person that is in the stages of Alzheimer's, and I do believe sincerely that is the situation here. I'm sure he's taking good brain-enhancing medications and is being helped all he can, but President Biden does have memory and mental issues to a degree. But as president, since he's not limited to lie, cheat, or steal, or scheme, or anything. He can be totally honest as the president and the commander-in-chief. And so he decided, it is the right thing to do to bring our troops home. Only problem now is that those people that didn't, get out when the getting was good, well, they're kind of stuck and they're in a kind of rough situation now. And so, and they even said, hey, we're probably going to have terrorist organizations targeting people trying to get out, especially Americans. And sure enough, yesterday there was a suicide bombing, and it killed 12 troops, and actually another one died, and so there's 13 killed. There's like 25 or 30 or so that were injured. These are all troops that should have been out long ago, in my opinion. They should have been out. No new troops sent over. Basically, it's if you can get to the airport, get there now. And you should have done that last year or the year before, or you never should have gone to Afghanistan in the first place. So that's where my view is coming from. We never should have had Americans in Afghanistan at all. We should have had, missions of, maybe 10 to 15 black ops types people to go in, with good intelligence, try to take out Osama bin Laden. And even with that, that's a revenge kind of thing. We're not trying to seek justice. We're just trying to kill him. That's not justice. All those people that were killed in the World Trade Center, bombing or the attack with the planes. Osama was not in those planes. The people that did that are dead. That was a major suicide mission for them. So the people who actually did it are dead. Osama bin Laden encouraged it, and so they saw him as the leader, and so they went after him, even though he didn't do any of the actual crimes. So as far as what justice is, that's debatable. But I think that countries, just like America, should be sovereign, and I believe states like Florida, Indiana, Texas, California, Maine, Rhode Island, I think states should also be sovereign in that they can say, hey, U.S. government, get out of our state. This is our state, okay? In other words, I don't think the federal government should be able to make any decisions regarding the internal workings or laws inside of a state. And I kind of agree with one of my neighbors here in that I don't really like government at all, but I do know that it's a necessary evil. Roads do need to be made, but I also think that most of our taxes are used for destructive weapons to continue the world weapons making industry, where we're just basically producing weapons from taxes and selling them to other countries so that they can have war with each other, and then those weapons making companies, including GM and others, where you think they're just car companies, no, they make weapons too. That's just not good. Which is why I think old companies should not be allowed to exist anymore. There should be a time limit. If I start a car company, and I've had a car company for decades, and I grow old and die, my car company should also liquidate, and all the assets can be divvied up to my kids or relatives or whatever. But once I'm gone, the company should be gone. That's my opinion. Companies should not be immortal. They should not live forever. They should not be legal persons. This whole corporate personhood thing I disagree with. Also, corporations being able to contribute unlimited funds to members of Congress or to people running for office, any of that kind of stuff, that's just bribery. It's legalized bribery. It's wrong. It's just wrong. I don't care if it's legal or not. It's wrong, okay? You have ethics and morality, and those supersede laws. Laws are just made by a vote, You can make a law that says, skinny people are no longer allowed to live. I mean, come on. You can say wallpaper is no longer allowed. You can make up any law you wanted to, and it has nothing to do with what's right or wrong. And so what's happened is that over time, laws have changed, and from an ethics standpoint, ethical laws have been rescinded or ended, stopped. There's no longer a law, and we've created a lot of laws that have legalized immoral activities, such as extortion, bribery, of course, and several other words that we really don't hear a lot, where slander, libel, media getting away with this lying to the public every day on a 24-hour basis. telling them things that they want them to believe. They don't even tell you what you want to hear. They tell you what they want you to think. And they're really good at it. They're professional liars. They are professional deceivers. They know what they're doing, and they know they're arrogant about it. They know you are easily fooled. They know you're stupid. They know you're going to believe whatever they tell you. They know they're smarter than you. And they know you're a sucker, and there's nothing you can do about it, because you're going to believe them anyway. And that's the kind of horrible situation we're in America, where these professionals, they're college trained, they have master's degrees, PhDs. These people are really smart, but they aren't really good. And there's a difference. You have intelligence, where you understand things, you can see how things work, you have a creative mind, and so you're a fast thinker, you're intuitive, you have all these mental skills, but it doesn't necessarily have to include ethics or morality. What's the difference between ethics and morality? Ethics is it's things like integrity, honesty, truthfulness, trying to put light on what really happened. Trying to find the truth, whichever way it may fall. Might contribute to the left or the right, but it's not politically motivated. So ethics seeks truth in any matter. Wants to know what actually is really true, without opinion, without subjectivity, totally objective truth. That's the goal of ethics. Now, morality has a religious spin to it. So, depending on, it's subjective. So, morality can be something like you're not allowed to wear pants if you're a woman. Okay, it's immoral. Well, that's more of a religious rule. It's not specifically moral. The immorality would be something like sex outside of wedlock. That is, messing around in high school and you're not married. So those kind of things are subjective to typically a moral, a religious kind of context. So morality is more subjective, and it can include ethics. I mean, there's a lot of ethics in religion and in morality, but a lot of the rules that are in morality are not ethical. Just things like letting some people in and not other people in. Those are debatable kind of rules, but that's social psychology. That's our social culture. That's just the way people are, and lots of other species are like that as well. I mean, if you're not part of the group, you don't look like us, we're not going to let you into our group. That's natural, and that's the way people are too. And so religion follows along that line, and so does education. If you're not educated, you can't be part of our group. If you don't have a college degree, don't apply. If you don't have a PhD, no, we're not going to let you into our organization. And so most of our culture, our capitalist culture, is based on a educational hierarchy, similar to the book that you may have read called Brave New World. It structures society in the same way, where starting with infancy, based on your intelligence, based on your parents' wealth, you're either on a track to work at McDonald's or be a janitor, or you're on track to be a scientist or engineer at a firm that pays very well right out of school. But the trade-off is you've been in school since age 4 or 5, and now you're close to 30 years old. So you spend your entire life in school. Now, lots of people drop out of high school. So they're done. They're done by 16, right? And so, they start, with menial jobs, and a lot of these people, they live rough lives. Some of them, they're on the streets. They get into drugs. They commit suicide. They get shot. They're in prison. All sorts of horrible stuff. And that's not really talked about much in the media at all. It's kind of ignored. All these thousands of people that are in prison just because they had a rough life, because they were raised in a poor family, and so they were forced into a much more volatile, dangerous kind of environment, and they didn't have the opportunities. Colleges rejected them. Employers rejected them. Everyone rejected them. They said, nope, you can't have any of our money. Nope, we don't want you. Nope, go away. And so it's part of the American economic system that actually is designed to reject and throw people out onto the streets if they don't have money and if they don't have the right education. And that's the sad and bad and immoral and unethical part of the United States economic system. It's largely unethical. Sad to say, it is. From the education system, where after high school they require you to pay money to get further education, that's wrong. It's unethical. Okay? It's unethical. It is. Fact. And then for employers to refuse to allow people to be employed just because they don't have the right degree. And that's unethical as well. It's picking and choosing based on a title, and just because you have a title, just because you have an engineering or a PhD or whatever, it doesn't make you a smart person even, okay? It means you may or may not have a degree. First of all, you could fake it. And second of all, you might have just skated through because your parents are wealthy or well-known or political. And even though you have that degree or graduated from that university, doesn't mean you're intelligent. It means you're entitled. It means you're privileged. But it doesn't mean you're intelligent. Doesn't mean you have talent. Doesn't mean you're skilled even. So, all right. I think that's all I have to say for today. Hope you all have a good day and hope you think about stuff. Also, please ask questions, okay? Ask questions to yourself. Am I a good person? Am I doing the right thing? What is ethical? And then ask questions to others as well. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I going in the direction I want to go? Do I serve money? Am I an economic tool? Do I want to stop being an economic tool? Ask questions. Ask lots of questions. I know some people say there's the right question and there's the wrong questions. Well, start with questions, okay? And let your curiosity and your insight lead the way. Things that don't make sense, things don't add up, or things just don't feel right. Go by your gut instinct. Let yourself, you on the inside, see things that aren't right on the outside and point them out. Don't hide, don't pretend. Point them out. And don't be afraid to point out problems. And don't be afraid of bullies who are, teachers or Sunday school teachers, preachers, whoever they might be, your boss even, ask questions. You have the right to ask questions. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing it like this? Is there a better way? You have every right to ask questions. And anyone who says you don't have the right to ask a question or gets angry at you for asking a question or turns it around and gaslights you and blames you for pointing out the problem, well, they're the problem, unfortunately. But see if you can find someone who actually listens when you ask questions, and avoid the people that are dishonest, because people that know the problem and pretend like it's not there, well, those people are not being honest. So start with your own personal internal integrity, be honest with yourself, and then be honest with others as well, and that will take you far, I think, in the right direction. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.